everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a place where we talk about everything maritime. We talk about the ships, we talk about the seafarers, we talk about the industry as a whole. All right, and you might be wondering why I'm doing this video here. Well, I recently got an offer to be a port engineer somewhere in Louisiana. Okay, and this is me just waiting at the hotel before I move to the facility. Okay, all right, that is why I'm here doing the video, and because of our promise to give out content every week, we have to do what we have to do, right? Okay, so today we're going to be talking about something that is very, very, very important to know. And this is something that stemmed from a particular question that I get almost every time that I come back from, offshore. Okay, I hope you're excited. And I promise you it's going to be very, very educating. Very, very educating. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. The question is, every time I come back, I get people ask me, you didn't bring any fish for me, especially, back home in Nigeria. You didn't bring fish for me. Why didn't you bring fish for me now? Is there no fish to bring? And I keep saying to them, I do not work on a fishing vessel. Yes, I do not work on a fishing vessel. And when I say that, they look at me like, aren't all of you supposed to be, fishing or catching fish? All right, so almost the general assumption is that as long as you say that you are a sailor, then you catch fish. So because of that, we are going to be addressing or letting people know that we have several kinds of vessels. There are so many of them. Their range is, from A to Z, all right, from east to west, from north to south. It is wide. It's not just fishing vessels. We have so many vessels, all right, that are plying our waters all around the world. So today we're going to be talking about, firstly, the different sectors, and then the different vessels that apply to these sectors. Okay. Number one, we have the seagoing vessels. That's one sector. On these seagoing vessels, we have vessels like container ships. Okay, I'm sure a lot of us know what container ships looks like. Basically what they do is they carry containers, your 20-foot, your 40-foot containers. That's what they do. Okay, you have ships like bulk carriers. These are the ones that carry things like cement, grains like rice, sugar, wheat. All right, so those kind of cargo in that regard, they carry that. Okay, they call them bulk ships or dry bulk ships, whichever way you want to call it. But yes, that's what they do. And these are also seagoing vessels. They mostly go from country to country, from one continent to another continent, just like the container ships. Okay, we have the tanker ships. Okay, these tanker ships, as the name implies, they are tanker vessels. What they do is they carry petroleum products. DPK, kerosene, your AGO, diesel, your PMS, gasoline. All right. Some even carry, like the crude oil. Yeah, they do that. And some even carry bitumen. Okay, so that's tanker ships, not a fishing vessel. Also, under the sea-going vessels, we have what we call ro-ro ships. All right, these ro-ro ships, they're called roll-on, roll-off. What they do is they carry automobiles, vehicles, all right, and the name ro-ro came from how those cars will like roll onto the ship or drive onto the ship and drive off. So that's the roll-on, roll-off, ro-ro ships. and they also apply, all over the world. Okay, you have the LNG vessels. Okay, this what they do is they carry gas, liquefied natural gas, or LPG, whichever one. All right, and these are seagoing vessels. They go all over the world as well. And yeah, I think that's so much that I can remember under the seagoing vessels. Then we have the passenger ships. Okay, you can say that sometimes they fall under the seagoing because people want to go on cruises and then they're like they want to go right into the sea. So yes, they can fall under that. Okay, the passenger ships, the cruise ships, and they're different from the ferries. Okay, you have ferries and then you have the cruise ship. Okay, ships like the Titanic and so on, they are cruise ships. Okay, now we go into the offshore sector. In the offshore sector, we have, I think top on the list for me would be the drilling ships. Basically what they do is drilling. That's the primary operations of that kind of vessel. Okay, and then we have dive support vessels. Okay, I work on dive support vessels. All right, and what they do basically is diving operations. No fishing at all. Well, sometimes when you are on standby and then in that particular region, they allow you to fish, then okay, maybe. All right, some divers can go down with their spear gun to shoot fish, but primary operation of that vessel is diving. Okay. All right. We have what we call accommodation vessels or accommodation barges. Okay, these are vessels that provide accommodation for offshore workers in places where they don't have accommodation. So when you're right there at sea or offshore, you're working on a platform, you're working on a jacket, and there is no accommodation. So we have vessels that basically provide accommodation. Their job primarily is accommodation. Okay, then we have anchor support vessels. These anchor support vessels basically provide support to when they want more or berth the super tankers that go to pick up cargo from what we call the SBMs. Okay, single body mooring, single buoy mooring. Okay, so you have these tanker vessels that go to them, and the anchor support vessels basically do the anchoring, right? Okay, these are offshore vessels as well. Okay, and no fishing. So you see that we have so many. We also have the PSVs, that's the platform support vessels, and most times what they do is they do supplies, they carry stuff from the shore to these platforms. Sometimes also they get to bring stuff, cargo. It could be water, it could be fuel, it could be consumables that the vessels that are offshore need, and they cannot leave the operation to go offshore. To go back to shore to pick them up. All right, so these PSVs basically provide that. They run, from offshore to the shore frequently just to get stuff to the guys that are offshore. We have MPSVs. Okay, these are multi-purpose vessels. They do supply, sometimes, you need some crane jobs to do offshore. Okay, these guys are the ones that will do that for you. in that regard. Some of them are construction vessels also. You know, they do construction offshore with the platforms. All right, we have tug boats. Okay, these tugboats, some of them are inland, okay, some of them are coastal, some of them are out there, okay, offshore, and these are not fishing vessels at all. Okay, so you see that there are so many different kinds of vessels that are out there that are not fishing. Now, let's talk about fishing vessels. Fishing vessels are fishing vessels. Basically what they do is they fish, right? Their primary operation is fishing. Even under that, you have vessels that like specifically designed for shrimps. Okay, we have the ones that are for fish, different kinds of fish and so on. The design can be a little bit different from a regular fishing vessel. Okay, so there are ranges and different kinds of vessels with different operations out there. All right, so when next you see a seafarer, you can actually ask, what kind of vessel do you work on? And then learn. Okay, I'm not even talking about the naval ships now. That's totally different. Okay, we actually have security boats offshore. Okay, I mean, if you're working in places where there's high piracy or there is banditry, you know, militancy, okay, there is a need to have security vessels, and these, you know, basically are being run by civilians, even though they have military guys on board to actually carry out the, you know, the security task, but the people running the boats are civilians. Okay, and that's another kind of vessel on its own. It's not a fishing vessel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have learned something today from this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button because we'll be churning out videos every single week. Until then, bon voyage.